You pick it up. You check the price. You can afford it. You put it back anyway. Not because of the number, but because something inside you flinches. Some quiet voice that says this isn't quite allowed. You tell yourself you'll get it later. You never do. And you have no idea why. This happens in ways you barely notice. You use the shampoo until the bottle is hollow. You sleep on the same mattress for a decade. You wear the shoes until they're held together by habit. And when someone asks why you don't just replace them, you shrug and say you don't really need anything. But that's not the whole truth, is it? The real answer lives much further back than last Tuesday. It lives in the house you grew up in the specific texture of how money was talked about, or not talked about, at the dinner table. Money, in a lot of childhoods, was not a neutral tool. It was pressure. It was argument. It was the thing that determined whether the month was going to be okay or not okay. When you're a child inside that kind of atmosphere, you absorb rules without anyone stating them. You learn that money is serious, that wanting things costs something beyond the price tag, that asking for something at the wrong moment has consequences. Nobody sits you down and explains this. You just feel it, over and over, until it becomes part of how you understand the world. And the rule you internalize, the one that gets built into the flaw of your personality, is something like this. Your wants are not the priority. Other things come first. Needs come first. Survival comes first. You come last, if at all. That's not a philosophy you chose. It was just the weather you grew up in, and you learned to dress for it. The strange thing is what happens when the weather changes. You grow up. You get a job. You build something that resembles financial stability. The account can handle a decent shampoo. It can handle new shoes. It can handle the things sitting in your cart right now. And yet the old rule doesn't update. It just sits there in your nervous system, running quietly in the background, still dressed for a storm that already passed. So when you spend money on yourself, your brain doesn't experience it as a rational transaction. It experiences it as a violation. A quiet alarm goes off, and the alarm says, "This is selfish. You don't deserve this yet. You haven't done enough. There is something else you should be doing with this." And the guilt you feel isn't really about money at all. It's about that alarm. It's about a rule so old it has no memory attached to it anymore, just feeling. You find ways to work around it. You frame every purchase as practical. You tell yourself the jacket is an investment. The book is research. The nice meal is because you had a hard week and you earned it. You bargain with yourself just to get permission to exist comfortably. And the fact that you have to bargain at all, that you need to justify basic comfort to yourself, that's worth sitting with. There's also something else running underneath this, something a little harder to name. If you grew up watching someone sacrifice, a parent who never bought anything for themselves, who worked constantly, who wore exhaustion like a uniform, you may have learned that self-denial is what love looks like. That spending on yourself is the opposite of being responsible, the opposite of being good. So guilt isn't just a reflex, it's almost a loyalty. Denying yourself keeps you connected to something. And here's what makes this so hard to shake. The guilt feels like wisdom. It feels like discipline. It feels like you're being responsible, measured, mature. It mimics virtue so closely that questioning it feels irresponsible. Shouldn't I be saving more? Shouldn't I be more careful? But discipline and fear are not the same thing, even when they look identical from the outside, even when they feel the same in your chest. The shift, if there is one, isn't about giving yourself permission to spend. It's about recognizing that the rule was never yours. You didn't write it. You didn't agree to it. You inherited it, the way you inherit a piece of furniture that doesn't fit your apartment. You've been rearranging your life around it for years without stopping to ask whether you actually want to keep it. The guilt isn't a compass, it's an echo. It's the sound of a house you no longer live in, bouncing off the walls of the life you're actually in now. You can hear it without obeying it. You can notice it without believing it. The thing in your cart, the thing you put back, you were allowed to have it. You were always allowed. You just didn't know it yet.